What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we are doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency space, where just like you guys know, crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next few years, and it's not even close. So we're pumped to have you guys along on the journey. Corey, take it away.
Absolutely. Corey Geary here, just truly blessed. Every single day I wake up and I'm able to be alive with my family, with you guys, being able to use cryptocurrency as that wealth creation tool, use real estate as a wealth preservation tool. And guys, alert, big announcement. I've reloaded my DCA wallet into Coast. Can you guys go ahead and just start selling it down, please? Go ahead and get the hell out. If you don't want to be here, sell, go buy Titan X, go buy Zen. I don't care where you go. Go buy Solana. It's got green candles, right? Go buy something else. Sell down the price so I could come in and buy your bags. I would gladly do it. And I'm ready. And I'm going to be really patient with this DCA because I got my eye on the prize, an area that I'm looking for, that I'm willing to execute my DCA. So, guys, sell your heart away. I see a lot of you guys capitulating for Titan X. In fact, a whale, and I think I know who he is. It's funny. I know who the guy is. I won't mention him ever on live streams. So down all that Pulse X. It was like 60 billion. It was something ridiculous. And he went and started Titan X miners. Like, please keep it up. But this time, can you do it with Pulse? Like, I got my bag of Pulse X. It's cool. I like it. I think it's going to do well. I think it's the contrarian play in the ecosystem because everyone hates it now. It's kind of funny because everyone used to love that. Now everyone hates it. It's like, what happened? But go ahead and sell Pulse down. I'm after the L1. So come on. And maybe a little bit of PHEX. Sell PHEX too. Just get rid of your bags, please. Let's go.
Let's do it. I don't know if you guys have seen like we have more recently, but Sami had some really good posts that I thought it'd be a good place to start today. Let's make sure you guys share my screen. So it's interesting if you were on Twitter more recently, and that's all you were on, you would think that everything was burning to the ground, and that's not the case. In fact, in general, DeFi as a whole is not doing much. And Sami talks about it here. He says, why isn't Hex, Pulse, or PulseX responding to upwards movement of recent times? He says he might have the answer, but it's just a guess. I believe that Hex is actually, let's open this up, a DeFi coin and not a store of value category. Hex offers native trustless yield and elements of store of value, yada, yada, yada. Essentially what he says is, nothing has moved up. You look at Aave, Uni, SMX, Curve. None of this stuff is moving. And we can see it here in this graphic where all of DeFi is down.
It's the index. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah. And that little bump down there, maybe he is putting in Solana into this chart. I don't know. But that might be that little bump down there that you do see. Some people consider Solana DeFi. Some don't. I don't. It's very centralized. They used to stop the chain so they could short it. SBF and what's her name? The lady.
Carolyn.
Yeah, they used to stop the chain so they could short it. Can you believe that? Like, that's how centralized Solana is. But hey, go make some money over there. I think it will do okay in the bull run. I don't know how much more from here you'll get. Maybe you get another 5x, maybe a 10x. I don't know. But yeah, so this is a very interesting point. Is that the whole DeFi sector is not affected by the first run-up of Bitcoin. And that's all it is a first run-up of Bitcoin. Then where's that liquidity flowing to? We got some sectors in crypto that it's flowing to, but it's not DeFi. And so our time's going to come, guys. You know, I feel like it's going to be around the Bitcoin halving. I really do, because that lines up perfectly with the 50-week that Richard always talks about. It lines up perfectly because Hex topped out. Tommy had talked about this too. Hex topped out 6 months after the initial top of Bitcoin. It was on the second top, where really the market started its cycle from the first top of Bitcoin. So we're like 6 months delayed from the last cycle if you're looking at Hex. And so there's just a lot of indicators showing us that our ecosystem is going to be lagged about 6 months. And yeah, guys, maybe it's lagged even a little bit more because of SEC news. It could be lagged 8 months. You know, I don't know. but I'm very confident in the ecosystem. I know it in my bones that it's going to do well, and I know I've placed my bets right, and I'm going to continue placing my bets. And yeah, I mean, if you don't like crypto, go buy government bonds, and if you don't like the ecosystem, go sell it and go buy Titanx and Solana. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
Give me your bags, okay? Or call me if you want to work. Like here, guys, I used to do this with the homeowners. I'd call them up and be like, hey, do you want to sell your house? And they'd be like, oh, yeah, give me an offer. And I give them an offer, and it'd be usually about 50 cents on the dollar where I'd start out. So if you want to sell your Pulse bag at 50 cents on the dollar, I'm your buyer. Let's go. You don't even have to worry about selling it. You can call me up and be like, hey, man, I got a Pulse bag, and I'll sell it to you for 50 cents on what its value on the market right now. I'll buy it, bro. Let's go. Come on. You're a distressed seller. I buy distress.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, you look at Sami goes on, he further states his point. So here's Aave, Uni, SNX.
What is SNX? What is that? I know Maker. What coin is that?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
But here's Aave, it's not doing much right now.
It had a little bump.
Here's Synthetics. I'm not familiar with this one.
Synthetic network. Listen, sounds like a layer one.
Yeah.
Synthetic network. Okay.
So a little bump, still way down. Uni, way down. Maker, still down. So,
we all had little bumps. We had a little bump too going into the Bitcoin halving. It's funny. Yep. All our charts look almost the same.
Agreed. They do look very similar.
Oh.
Agreed. So there is hope, you guys.
Stop giving them hope, Dane. I want them to freaking sell. I just loaded my 0x code.
We don't want our guys to sell. If you're tuning in here, we want our guys to be strong. We all want to reap the rewards here.
If you're a believer and you watch our channel every single day, don't sell. But if you're a fly-by-night and you're here visiting and you haven't hit the subscribe or the like button yet, go sell your bags.
Go sell them.
Please.
That's right. Ted asked a great question. Yeah, one alts have a dip after the Bitcoin halving, as it's done historically prior to up and the right. I mean, it could. It was interesting with this last Bitcoin sell-off. We didn't really do anything. Kind of just sat still. So here's the question. And if you believe like I believe, I think that Richard is still very engaged with his stuff. I really do. Like, he didn't build this stuff to just go away and not have the glory. I would feel differently if if you just saw him posting less and less and less on Twitter, less and less and less like himself. But man, like, he was raging there for a good couple of weeks where it was regular Richard back. And I'm like, Richard's still in the hopper, in my opinion. And man, some of the best marketing is to be able to pump up the ecosystem when everything else is going down. And so, could that happen? I don't know. Will it? I don't know. But man, if I was still in the hopper, if I was Richard and I wanted this stuff to really shine, some of the best marketing is to be able to send it a little bit, just a little bit, while everything else is going down, and then run around and everybody on Twitter can shout the praises and talk about how we're decorrelated and we're going to go up to the moon, all those types of narratives. I think Richard's waiting for the right timing.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. Yep. He's definitely not out of the hopper per se. Like who builds a business and just lets it go? Okay, what? Let it burn to the ground. And this is his baby. Like, this is like, he built this and he loves this. I mean, this is like his livelihood, and everything he is a human being is in this. I promise you, he believes in it that much. He had a baby. I guarantee it. And he doesn't have a family or kids. Like, this is his entire life. This. There's nothing else. I mean, he's got money, and if it was because of money, he would have never done a lot of the things he did anyways, because he already had money. Like, it's because, like he always says, it is for the glory. It is because he wants to be the baddest ass MFer in crypto. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. And he won't stop until he does. I mean, yeah, will there be some bumpy road? Will it be a bumpy road? Of course, this SEC shit's been real bumpy. You know what I mean? We don't know, like, what's going to come of it. Right? I mean, we just don't know. We don't know the outcome. But here's what you got to think about. And the way I think of it too is that my downside risk is basically zero. Yeah, but I'm very good at making money. I know I wouldn't like be homeless and my family wouldn't hurt, and I'd be fine. I'd be even still making money in this bull run and still diversify, even if this ecosystem went to zero, right? Which is like, I think, almost impossible. But what's my upside? My upside is infinite. It really is. Is it a 10x, 20x, 30x, 50x, 100x? I don't know. You know, I'm not playing for the big numbers. If it happens, great. I will be nicely surprised. If we get 1,000x, I'll be like, holy crap. You know, you guys are not going to see me much. I'll be flying around the world in my private jet. But, you know, yeah, I'm playing for a nice 20, 30x. I got my bags built in that way. And I mean, like I said, the upside is infinite. And, you know, anything can play out. We don't know the future. And it's just, you got to make your bets, man. You got to make your bets. You got to, it's like any business plan. You got to stick to your plan and hold through and don't deviate, man. I mean, it's okay if you want to go play in a couple new shiny objects. If you're playing with new money, in my opinion, I wouldn't be selling the bottom over on Pulse Chain to go play with a shiny new object. And so keep that in mind, because who knows if that shiny new object gets rugged tomorrow or whatever. I don't have the same conviction I have in some of these shiny new objects as other people do. And that's fine. I have played a little bit with some other shiny objects, but never with my PulseX, Hex bag, or even my third-party stuff on Pulse Chain, like Fame, Fiat. Love those guys. And all the builders like Tetra. Tetra is freaking amazing. In fact, I kind of want to add to my Tetra bag. Like,
the prices are so juicy.
I want to add to the bag, man. I'm just like,
and your money goes so far in that protocol right now. It's stupid.
It is because there's just not a lot of awareness about it yet. Not a lot, and so you can really pick up a massive position for really cheap still, and it's it's got some really cool things that they're going to be doing. So.
Yeah, it'll be cool. In fact, that leads into next. This is a great question, Tim. Yeah, any onboarding tips? How do you onboard the big boys? So I'll give a few, and you can give a few here, Corey. Sure. So I think you got to decide what's important to them. So a lot of these guys that are already wealthy, like they don't care about T-shares, they don't care about they're not going to care about any of that. They're not going to care about 100.
The more technical you get, the more checked out they get too.
Yeah,
that's any no-brainer.
Yeah, they don't care about any of that. What they do care about, in our experience, is diversification and catching the next wave. And so I like to. I think that I like fear, and then I like upside. So I think it's pretty clear that everybody's very aware of the problems that inflation is bringing. And I don't think that that's going anywhere anytime soon. And I think in our experience, almost anybody wealthy will agree with you on that. Yeah. And so I think it's really easy to say, hey, like your money in real estate, your money in stocks, your money in pretty much anywhere outside of crypto is just being eaten away because it's not outpacing inflation. And do you think everything is going more online, more digital, or do you think it's going less? The fact is it's going more. And where do you think money's going? Well, money's going more digital. You see BlackRock buying. You see the banks getting into the game with their own blockchains. I think JP Morgan and Chase released their own blockchain.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're getting into the game.
The bug eaters are getting in, man.
Yeah, you don't have to be a genius to follow the big money. And so I think that the play for the big money guys is more a play on diversification. To say, hey, look, you should be having our friend Robert Allen, that's a billionaire. Like that's his play, is he wants a little bit of diversification. Now, of course, he wants to make money, and that's the plan too. But I think the real talking point is diversification in the trend where we're already seeing big smart money flow. And you talk to them about Bitcoin and ETH. If they have huge amounts of money they want to put in, they need something that's more liquid. So you got to go more that direction. But then it's really easy to say, hey, make a few smaller bets over here, Pulse Chain, PulseX, Hex, whatever it may be, make a few smaller plays over here. Because if some of the smaller stuff runs, well, it'll multiply your holdings by a massive amount and put you in a really unique position. And so it's more a matter of diversification. That's how we like to talk with the big boys about it. Anything you'd add to that, Corey?
Yeah, just a couple. One, I think you slightly touched on it, is the fear part and like know thy enemy, right? We've heard of this concept for a little bit, and I hear you do this a lot, Dane. When we're on stage, he will speak about like how Jerome Powell is just inflating the dollar and to oblivion and handing it out to all his friends. Where like Nancy Pelosi has, makes a couple $100,000 a year, but she's worth $600 million, stuff like that. And then the other one from yesterday, what's her name? The other that's anti-crypto. What I can't remember.
Elizabeth Warren. She's the
Elizabeth
worst.
Warren, another one. It's like knowing thy enemy, and then like also speaking about that too. Like real estate investors and people who have big money, they understand these concepts of inflation. They understand the concepts of what the governments are doing, and they understand like that's why they're in real estate. They're trying to hedge themselves against some of this stuff. And so speaking about the enemy is very, very huge. And the second thing is I'll dangle the passive income carrot in front of them, because you got to know thy audience, right? Who are you talking to? And real estate investors, they love passive income. In fact, they've been sold the passive income dream since day one, and it's been shoved down their throats so much by the influencers and the gurus. And then they realize that real estate's not really passive, that there's a lot of work involved. And then we can tell them, we talk about how passive crypto really is, true DeFi, especially when Tetra comes. But we dangle that carrot in front of them. Now we don't talk about T-shares and the intricacies of how a T-share works, and then you get it all. They will lose focus and interest in a heartbeat, And so we just talk about how you can make some passive income in the background while you're waiting for the opportunity to come up here in the next, 1 to 2 years, because we talk about the market cycles and where we're at in the cycle, and they can kind of just chill and go build their business and do what they want in the real world while their money is making money and they're just chilling and waiting. And so a lot of these guys don't want to hear anything about trading. The last thing they want to do is hear they got to sit in front of a screen all day and trade their portfolio. They hate that. They hate that. So you will turn them right off if you talk about that, unless you're talking to somebody like in the stock market who's used to trading. But real estate investors specifically, what I found is that most of them just absolutely hate trading. And then maybe they've done it and got a bad taste in their mouth from doing it, like a lot of people have. And so just knowing your audience and knowing how to speak to your audience is huge. And that's how we do it. We get up on stage, we do a full presentation talking about the market cycles, talking about the enemy that we're against, talking about the passive income, talking about how we can use this money in the future too. We sell them a dream, like you always hear us on the show, guys. When we open up, we talk about how crypto's a wealth creation tool and real estate being a wealth preservation tool, and we talk about the end goal, where we're going to be like using this money that we're going to make in the next couple of years to go and buy some legacy wealth assets, whether it's real estate or whether it's business acquisitions, whether it's maybe even oil and gas. Who knows, right? But there's going to be opportunity to preserve that wealth. And we're good at finding those opportunities because just of our network from real estate investors. So they like that too. It really speaks to them that the dream that they're sold, they don't have to completely give that up, right? And so I think that's how we're able to be successful in that niche. But you got to know the niche you're going after. You got to know how to speak their language, what's important to them, what is their goals, what are they trying to achieve in their life. If they have no goals and they work a 9 to 5 and they don't care about money or anything, you're not going to really, it's going to be hard to get those guys to do anything. First, you should probably teach them how to care about money and want to be an entrepreneur and make more of it. Like crypto's not going to do a lot. And I feel like, the real big, and it can happen. You still have the big moonshots, but a lot of the moonshots now are kind of gone for the most part. The days of putting $100 in and then cashing out $1 million is, man, that's a freaking lottery ticket. And even in Hex, not everyone caught the perfect bottom and the perfect top. Like most didn't. And so you still need some money to invest, and they have to care about money and want to make more of it. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, I'm unmuted. I think that I don't even think this is a talking point. So for me, I want to stay away from these types of things, just because so if somebody asks, how is Hex better than NVIDIA or NVIDIA? they're already bought into NVIDIA. And so are you going to convince them to sell their NVIDIA? I'm not trying to. I want to once again, it's back to the talking points of like, look, DeFi, owning your own crypto, having your own assets, having upside in another place, diversification. That's how I go about it. I'd say, look, keep buying NVIDIA if that's something you believe in, but gosh, you'd be a fool to put all your eggs in one basket. Come diversify over here a little bit as well.
Yep. Yeah. And we don't do a lot, guys. If somebody's bought into another ecosystem, we don't do a lot to try to deter them from that ecosystem, right? It's easier to convert no coiners or people who are, have had very little exposure to this asset class. It's easy to convert them into our beliefs and our ecosystem than going and finding new people. It might be the same for like religions. If somebody's not a religious person and you're trying to convert them, they might be easier than the person who's already bought into another religion. I don't know. Maybe that's a good analogy. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah. So it's just it's knowing how to talk their talk. That's the biggest thing. Like we're from real estate, so it's easy for us to relate to these guys, and we have a network that we've been associated with for years. I mean, these events that we go to, I've been talking to events for a few years now. Even when I was teaching real estate, I go to events and then I'd pitch my real estate offering, and then I'd get people into my mastermind and and I'd teach them how to flip houses, teach them how to wholesale houses, teach them how to do novations, all these other strategies. And so it's no different. Like I'm speaking the same language, and so is Dane. We're speaking the same language. We're just doing it now with a little bit of a different asset class. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Is Elizabeth Warren that Native American woman? Brizology answered that. Pocahontas. Yeah, she was, if I'm not mistaken, she was claiming to be descended from Indians, and I don't believe she has a drop of Indian blood in her, is my understanding.
We need to put her picture in our slide deck as one of the enemies.
We do. Seriously.
I can't stand her anymore, man. She's just, it's disgusting.
Disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting.
Agreed. Yep. Tin Top says he bought both the top and the bottom.
That's one way to do it, I guess, because your bottom buy is going to way offset your top buy. So I guess you're okay if you did that. Depending on how much you bought at the bottom versus how much you bought at the top.
Right.
I love it.
Oh man. And this is, in fact, this is a good talking point. So here's the 5 things. We have a lot of stuff marketed to us. In fact, we are on a today with some guys from the community that want to talk about their stuff. And I think we'll have them on. Here's the 5 things that we're interested in. Just to like get to a place where we want to talk about a little bit. 5 things: founder with some sort of track record, sticky cult-like community. We want marketing. If you don't have a marketing plan, like seriously, it needs to be more than like memes. Like these guys want to come in, make more memes, guys. I hate to break it to you, but it needs to be more than that. We want to see strong tokenomics. We want to see, especially if you're forking code from another protocol, we want to see stuff that's actually worked and done something. Most of this stuff is copying code bases that were scams or went to zero. And the 5th is we want to see stuff with strong tokenomics. We want to see stuff that produces passive income, that's built to pump, and I hate to break it to you, but like something being deflationary does not mean that it pumps. There needs to be a reason for buyers to buy. So those are
got to buy and burn, Dane. Buy and burn.
Oh man, forget a buy and burn. Who cares about that? I don't. Not right now. It'll be good for the bull run. It'll be a good narrative.
Good narrative. Everything.
So if you guys have stuff that like meets those general criterias, we'd love to hear about it. And in fact, feel free to post in the comments if you have things that you want to talk about. Then like take those 5 things, and I'd love for you to talk about those things and how it may meet that criteria. That way you can stand apart from the crowd instead of this thing's real DeFi and going to the moon. No shot at you, Brett. I'm just like, in general, we get a lot of this stuff. Everybody is saying that, and frankly, like I don't think Corey nor I have a lot of desires to dig into things when it's the same talking point. So there's an idea on how to be a little bit different.
Since we've been doing the show, maybe not since we've been the show, probably like, a few months after when we started getting people watching us. Because in the beginning, it was like just me and Dane down there talking with like 2 people. It was fun. But like since, definitely the last 6 months since Pulse Chain's launched, we've had a lot. I get my DMs, man. They get blasted with all kinds of stuff. And a lot of the stuff, I bet you if I go back and I'll look, sure, maybe it pumped in the short term, maybe, but is it still around? Is it actually significant anymore? What is it doing? I'm sure if I were to go back and look, I would see a bunch of just garbage that pumped. Everything, well, not everything, but a lot of things pump like a meme coin. People buy into the narrative, they get all excited, they pump it up, boom, it goes to the moon. Sure, you can make money doing that. I've made a little bit of money from meme coins during that Pulse Chain meme coin bull run. I was doing it with very little amounts of money. And I mean little, like $50 buys, and now turn into like 150, 200, I'd sell. And I was doing that. Almost not worth the time, but it was fun. And I feel like there's a lot of that. There's always gonna be a lot of that. There's a narrative that pumps it up, it gets it going, and boom, and it blasts off. And then it needs to have something that sustains it for a long term, though. And that's the problem that I see. The biggest problem in crypto is the long-term sustainability of the protocol or what you're trying to achieve. And instead of just chilling. Now, if we had a business model like B Roots, that'd be one thing. It'd be like, all right, so what's the pump and dump of the day? Let's get this going. Like, that'd be another story. But like most of our bags, me and Dane's 99%, and maybe even Dane 100%, I'm not sure, it's all buy and hold. We're not like trying to like get in and make a quick buck. I don't have time for all that. I want to spend time with family.
You can't do any of that stuff in size anyways. You can't buy more than $200. Like if you can't, like a good general rule of thumb, like we can't put 5-10 grand in without moving the price chart really hard against us. Like it's
not exciting.
It's not interesting. Yeah.
It's not like $100, $200 buys. It's not exciting me that much. It really doesn't. I mean,
even $1,000, like, and I want to make sure that we're being really fair in how we're talking about a lot of this stuff. So, you guys have probably had similar experiences where we have, like, if you turned $1,000 into 100 grand, that's 100x. That's great. We're here for it. That's great. But like 100 grand doesn't change lives in a very large way. It could pay your bills. You'd be amazed how fast the money goes if you haven't had that before. And so,
car, bro.
Yeah,
fact, I've done it before.
Yeah, no, me too. So if we can't go in with at least a little bit of size, like it's just not worth it. It's just not worth our time in general. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe it's a good protocol. I do know about a little bit, Brett Stone. I know it's like like they do raffles and you can win more of the coin, and you buy these raffle tickets. It's great currencies, what it's called. I see Mando shilling it, and I think even B Roots might have shilled it before. I've seen it around, and maybe it's cool. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? Yep. I hope it does well if you have big bags.
Yeah, we hope for the best. I think this is a really fair take. Yeah. My concern is too many people are too scared to fight against the system, and that's what DeFi is at its core. So I've got a lot of thoughts on this topic. So I'll start, and Corey, you can fill in the gaps. How about? So I feel like we're seeing a huge separation of things. You're seeing it financially, where the rich are getting richer, and it feels like the poor are getting poorer. And frankly, I think those gaps are only going to continue to widen. I think you are seeing that with people's eyes being opened as well, where the sheep continue to only push their faces in the sand deeper, and the people that are in the middle, that are open to looking at things or already have their eyes open, they're opening them, and I think you're going to see that gap widen as well.
Yeah.
And man, there are a lot of people that we've talked to in the last year or so that, especially, that's where I'm telling you guys, I think the talking point is really, really powerful, to talk about how the politicians are the ones enriching themselves. It's a really easy example. If you make 200 grand a year as a civil servant, but you make $1 million a month from enriching yourself because there's no insider trading laws for politicians and you're the closest one to the information. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. And everyone, almost everyone, at least that's willing to open their eyes, will agree with you on that point. And everyone wants a solution. Everyone wants a solution to that. Once again, if they're willing to open their eyes a little bit. And DeFi is such a beautiful way to, if you will, here crypto ethos to like fight back, because it's not like a real aggressive, assertive fighting back. It's just, hey, coming in, trying to grow your wealth, understanding these new systems, and it's not that hard if you have someone to help guide you. And so I'm with you. I think the gap will continue to widen. I think we saw a lot of people that felt like they got screwed with COVID and all the lies that we were told during that by the governments of the world. And I think there's a lot of people that are looking to make some changes.
That's it, man. The only thing I would add on that, man, is that like so the middle class is going away. And I remember when we were at the last event, Dane, Brad Lee was talking about this, and it was a great talk. Right. What's creating that gap, right? So you got the wealthy and you got the poor. What's creating this, gap? Well, it's inflation, guys. Them stealing from us. So back to Dane's point, the enemy, right? It's the inflation. They're inflating your dollar. So your middle class is now either turning poor or they have to make a decision to chase wealth and try to hedge themselves, whether it's by building businesses, by investing, aka crypto. And so like they have to go out there and take risk if they want to try to not be separated down to the poor class, right? And so this is the big separation. It's happening in our generation. And if it's not done and completed by our generation, it'll be in our next. My daughter, she's not gonna be on this side. She's gonna be on the wealthy side, I guarantee you. And if she is, she's gonna have to jump. I remember when Brad Lee said that. If you're over here and you need to get over here, well, you better jump and take that risk. You have to.
You have to.
So unless you want to continue being a sheep, like Dane said, that's when you're in your comfort zone. If you're living in your comfort zone, you got the blinders on and everything's hunky-dory in your life and you think everything's perfect and you work a 9 to 5 and you're making 40 grand a year. I'm not taking any shots at anybody. 40 grand a year doesn't buy you anything anymore in this economy. It just doesn't. It doesn't. You do have to take some risk. You got to do something. You're going to have to do something and get out of your comfort zone and take that risk from the separation from you being over here. You need to get over here. Okay. You're going to have to make the jump.
Yeah. And I hate to break it to you guys. If you don't have friends that are very wealthy, one thing we found very rapidly, we have friends that are far more wealthy than us, which
way
is
more wealthy than the one guy I'm
what you want.
Like
way more than you and me combined.
Yeah, Wes Watson. That's a good example. Yeah. That guy is the GOAT. Makes freaking $20 million a month. A year. It was a month. No, it's a year.
Is it a year?
Yeah. Okay. But either way, the guy's a GOAT. And we're gonna go see him in January, and we're gonna hopefully onboard him to crypto.
We're doing our best. That's right.
Onboard this guy, dude. I'm like, God, bro, come on, sell one of your Bentleys.
Just one.
No, that crypto. Come on.
But here's the thing: is like you find that even wealthy people have problems. Life gets easier in certain respects with money. But it also like creates problems as well.
Yes.
Life is going to be hard, irrespective of how much money you have. In some fashion. And so you can choose to have a hard life being poor, or you can choose to have a hard life being rich. Life is way more fun with more money. It's way more fun. It's gonna be hard either way. You may as well like take some bets, make some bets, take some risks in order to try to change your family's financial future. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family. You owe to generations that will come ahead of you. Like if you don't take shots, then you can't make any jumpers. You have to take shots.
And you're going to lose some of your shots, guys. Like I have lost my ass in being an entrepreneur. My third deal, I'll give a real quick story of me taking my shot and losing. On my third deal in real estate, I lost 250 grand. It was my life savings and it was my 401k money from where I was working at. It was a combination of those two. I lost everything. I still had my job. If I would have just been like, oh, real estate's a scam, this sucks, and given up, I would not be living here in Puerto Rico with my beautiful family and have, I can pretty much do whatever I want when I want. It's great. Like I go to daycare with my daughter. I'm hanging out all day at daycare, and I'm like the only dad there. Everyone else is out working, being a slave. It's great. Love my life. But that would never happen if I would have just walked away and said, "Oh, this is all a scam. I'm going to go continue being comfortable in my 9 to 5." Like I lost my shot, but I kept pushing forward. You got to keep taking your shots. To Dane's point, you got to keep throwing those 3-pointers until you get one. You're going to get one. And then when you get one, compound the effect and do it again. And it will grow. It will grow exponential. And it's great. It's an amazing feeling. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of problems. And you're right. You're trading one set of problems for another. But I know what set of problems I want. I know.
Yep. And you find that if you shoot enough jumpers that you tend to learn how to make them.
You make more, you start getting some wins.
Once you learn how to make jumpers, man, it's it's awesome.
It's nice and it feels good. That's especially the idea ass kicked a few times. You get punched in the face, man. Yeah, yep. I can think of a few. Oh my gosh.
Yep. I lost 200 grand on one of my last flips, and I said, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Yeah, that was enough of that. Yep.
You're like, all right.
You guys in here with the jokes. Street vendor tamales are a buy and burn that works.
hey, yeah, I love tamales, man. That might be a buy and burn that I would have invested. Right.
Yeah, that's a good question. What's the general consensus on DeFi when having conversations with our real estate investors, specifically the RH ecosystem? I mean, once again, it just comes down to framing. So what do you believe in? And it's funny, like good example. So I was on an onboarding call yesterday, and this guy's been in crypto since 2014. God. And I said, oh, cool. Like most of our calls are with people that have done almost nothing in crypto. And so I was like, oh, cool. Like what are you excited about? He's like, oh, I'm really excited about Caspa. And I was like, oh, why? So Caspa's done like 1,000x run.
Yeah, trains recently. Left the station.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, like what are you excited about? And he was like, it's going to be a better Ethereum. They're going to start implementing smart contracts soon. And I was like, oh, what else? He's like, oh, well, that's it. And I was like, oh, so you're essentially excited about the price chart more recently. I said, did you get in on that run? Well, no. Well, then you don't buy it now. That's what I said. I was like, I wouldn't buy it. I want to buy stuff that are cheap still. And so I think those explanations, at least to our real estate guys, they make a ton of sense, where once again, we're framing them in the things that they know. And so everybody knows, hey, like you don't go buy an expensive house as an investment. You buy a cheap house. So what's still cheap right now? Well, it's not Caspa, I'll tell you that much. It's not, it's not XRP that the world already knows about. It's not Bitcoin.
And the world's in. I feel like everyone I talk to owns XRP.
Everyone, yeah. And so we want to buy things that are cheap, that not everybody's in, that very few people know about right now. And so that's how we frame it. And when we do it that way, they're like, oh, yeah, that sounds like a great plan. I'm like, it is, right? And so it's a really easy way to be able to talk about the things that we feel like have, frankly, the biggest upside. Yeah. All right. What else we got here? Yeah, seriously.
Didn't come in. He's not the top today.
Yeah, he's early. It's good.
Yeah, you're early for once, Briz. This is good.
Yeah, Drew. I'm with you on this. Yeah, I think the middle class, we're seeing it go away. And like Corey said, you got to make a decision, and you've got to be committed to that. I feel so bad. I mentioned this a few weeks ago, I think, on one of our shows, but I have someone that I know that's done everything like quote unquote right, went 2 Ivy League degrees, like worked all over the world, has some pretty cool accolades. But man, unfortunately his contract that he has is not being renewed this month. And he told his wife, he's like, well, I guess we'll just sell our house again. And he's throwing in the towel and giving up. And I'm telling you guys, like, we've been there. We know what that feels like. We absolutely do. We've been kicked in the nuts more than I think most people, lost more money than most people will make in the next decade from learning how to do things, but also like made some jumpers too. And if
Thank
you
God.
just stay in the game, you'll learn how to make jumpers. You just will. The key is just being willing to stay in the game and pay attention. And if you do that, whether it be crypto, whether it be real estate, whether it be anything else, I promise that you'll find a way to be able to make a life and create a well-being that you only dream of today. And you can do that literally in a very short period of time. Most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Love that saying.
And so I promise, like, if you can just pick a thing, stay in the game, and be willing to figure out the game, be humble and make the adjustments that need to be made so you can learn as fast as possible, you'll be good. Just stay in the game.
Yep. Mistakes. And when we lose at something, you need to reflect and see what mistakes you made and learn from it and grow from it. And this is in crypto too, guys. I've made some mistakes in crypto and got my ass whooped a few times. And I sat down and like, okay, what did I do? Where did I go wrong? And you analyze and you learn from it and you grow from it. And that way you don't do it again.
Yep. That's probably Chris. He nailed it.
Probably.
Yeah. If this is you, Chris, what's up, man? Oh man, all the props here. I've known Corey for years. He grew up hard, didn't have a lot of money. His success story is real. No BS.
Yeah, if it's Chris, yeah, I've known Chris for quite a while. It might be Chris. I don't know. It's dox yourself, bro.
Yep. Punches be punched in the face, but you'll learn how to shoot jumpers over time. Yeah.
And I'll know who it is when we get off because I can check the Facebook and I can see it tells the person on the Facebook who's commenting, but for some reason it doesn't go over to StreamYard. So that's really weird.
Oh, that is, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, Taco Bell, we feel you on that.
I've had a few buy and burns out here in Puerto Rico, Brazology. It's you never know when you're gonna get the burn part.
That's a problem. Oh man. So yeah, we appreciate you guys being here. Is there those are kind of the things that I want to talk about. Corey, anything else you wanted to hit on?
A couple of talking points. I think we're going to be having Crypto Coffee on soon. I got to coordinate with him. He's at the blockchain conference here in Puerto Rico this week. He's actually doing a lot of cool things out there. I saw him doing a lot of good networking, man. He's out there representing Pulse Chain.
Oh, cool.
Which is really cool. I was going to go with them, but I've been so busy here at the house, and I got a family, and it's hard now to get out and do anything. But yeah, so I'm trying to get him on. I'm hoping to have him on by next week. Be a lot of fun. Next week, guys, could be a little bit rocky. I'm traveling to Arizona, so definitely no show on Tuesday. I'm leaving Tuesday, go back to AZ. I'll be back in AZ till February. If you guys are out in AZ who are watching the show, hit me up. Let's hang out. Chris, let's go skiing. Skiing, not boarding, bro. Like, keep the board at home. That stuff is like. So yeah, and then I think
I'll
we might
snowboard
have,
with you, Chris.
What's that?
I'll snowboard with Chris.
You'll snowboard with Chris. Yeah, and then next week I think we might even have one of the protocols that we for sure hit you up. It is Chris. Okay. One of the protocols that we interviewed today to come on the show, and we'll let them represent themselves and talk about what they're doing. They're actually doing some really cool stuff. We're not investors in it. Not yet, and maybe I will in the future. I don't know. Just right now I'm not. So I'm not going to say a whole lot. But we're going to have them on next week. So next week's going to be an exciting week. Tomorrow, we have open mic day. We want you guys to come on. Brizology, I want you to come on tomorrow, bro. Tomorrow's show.
Are we doing it tomorrow or Friday?
I'm thinking today was Thursday. Okay, Friday. Sorry.
2 days.
I thought today was Thursday. That's where I was like wrapping stuff up. I was like, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. Never mind. Tomorrow's a no more show. Cool.
One thing before we take off. In fact, I'd like your guys' feedback on this. Post in the comments what if this would be valuable. So we've talked to a ton of people in the community that hate onboarding because it's a nightmare. We understand. that it can be brutal to onboard. Corey and I were playing with the idea of just creating like a free course of really, of simple crypto basics. Where it's like, hey, here's a hardware wallet. Here's how to set it up. Here's MetaMask. Here's how to set it up. Here's some strategies to consider. Here's our buy box of things to consider when you're doing due diligence, so you can start figuring out what it actually needs to do due diligence. Would that be useful? If that would, yeah, like post in the comments. We're trying to find
hand up your no coin friends. Yeah, it's so that way they're not like pounding you all the time. You can be like, hey, did you watch the Corey and Dane video? They went through that specifically step by step. It might help. And of course, something like that would be free. It wouldn't be like a real basic just to get them onboarded. And if they wanted to search us out for more information and wanted to come like into our mastermind, that'd be great too. But like for this, is just a pure give to the community. That way we can help try to just bring in more money to the ecosystem and get them exposure and, make your lives a little bit easier too. I think it'd be cool.
All right, we got some feedback. That's good. Cool. Yeah, we'll have to work on that. Yeah, as far as limit orders, I have not used these yet. I'm excited about them. Have you?
Maybe I'll set one today.
With your
I funded my DCA account again. I did a wire to 0x Coast this morning. I might go play with it. I mean, I'm gonna set the limit order pretty low from where we're at right now.
You got to put some single-sided liquidity up on.
Oh, I could do that too on the 9 millimeter. Oh, I forgot about that. I was doing that back in the old days with when we were just on Ethereum. I got a couple different options now, which is really effing cool. Pulse chains evolving. Man, once again, divergence. There's a divergence happening, but you guys can just sell your bags. Not your loyal, not the loyal listeners, but like all you guys who are the fly by night and you here checking us out, dump. Go buy Titan X, go buy Zen, and let us buy your bags.
Yep, absolutely. All right, cool guys. We appreciate your feedback today. We appreciate you guys being on. Oh, maybe the last couple of comments. Let's see. Ominous is working flawlessly. Had a little over 30 limit orders triggered.
Really?
Oh, really? That's great.
For the CST arbitrage, he's going back and forth and making money. Brilliant. Nice. Brilliant. Love it.
I like it. Compound limit orders soon. Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Compound limit orders soon. What is compound limit orders?
That's a good question.
Compound. Can you give us a 2-second description before we get off, Red Squirrel?
Yeah, Red Squirrel with all the alpha. Red Squirrel.
He's always got it.
We need you to get you to come on stream already.
I have tried.
You don't even have to show your face.
I have talked to this guy. Like, he won't do it, dude. This guy's like,
Come on, man. Come on.
I know, dude. He's full about. He says all he does all day long is think about strategies and blueprints. That's all he does all day long. Like he says his brain never stops on creating these wild strategies that are basically compounding. Eat and buy. Set a buy and sell together. Oh, I get it. So you can set up.
You get to buy at a price and then sell at another.
Or you want to maybe buy one token while you're selling another one.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So Red Squirrel, so you could come on and explain this to us.
Just the audio. You don't even need to show your face.
I don't want to see your face, bro, unless you're a hot chick, and I doubt you are. So no, Red Squirrel.
Hey, if Red Squirrel was a girl, I'd be really surprised.
That would be very interesting. Yeah, that'd be very interesting. He's always trying to hide his nuts. Like,
oh man. Hey, Axis, are you going to be on the Liquid Loan stream?
We'll go check it out, dude. Yeah, man. I'm using the Liquid Loans USDL. I'm staking in there, man. I'm making like 400%, bro. It's freaking easy money. That's free money right there, guys. That 400% I'm making right now. It's beautiful.
Yep. The people want you, Red Squirrel.
I know. The audience has spoken, man. Come on. I'm still a DCA buyer of Pulse and Pulse X. Yeah, well, Hex Monkey, you're one of us, bro. I can't like tell you to go sell your bags. I need the guys who are chasing the new stuff to go sell their bags, man. Come on.
Yep.
I want to get in there. I want to get well. I'm gonna make December a great December, man. Give me a Christmas present. Come on. I gotta go shopping for my family. I want something. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. All right, cool guys. Appreciate you. We will catch you tomorrow.
See you guys.
See ya.